Hey guys, Apoch from Apoch's Mellow Review here. I'm here with my fiancee Dana, and we just sat through, I think it was the Asylum's Hansel and Gretel film. I don't even know what the hell it was called. Hansel and Gretel, Warriors of Witchcraft or something?
Something like that.
I don't even know. All I know is there's no Hansel and Gretel in the damn thing to begin with. It's Ella and Jonah.
Yeah, Ella and Jonah.
Okay. Real names Fievel and Boo Boo.
Told you, boo. You didn't believe me.
I didn't for a second, but the second you told me that, I just figured this film was going to be garbage from the moment it began. The second you told me that, I was like, oh, Boo Boo, oh man, that's not good. Okay, well, the whole film is basically Fievel and Boo Boo. Boo Boo gets into a lot of trouble in the one school he's in, so their parents decide to send them off to a very fancy school. And the fancy school happened to have been built by witches. Witches. And it's some weird screwed up German name, I guess, for gingerbread, because there's no actual house made of treats. So they just kind of played it off with the word. But the school is a gingerbread house, apparently. And yeah, they're attending. People start vanishing. There's a group of 3 teens. One's the jock, the other 2 apparently his girlfriends or something like that. And they do magic fireballs in the most perfect 360 CGI I've ever seen in my life. Nothing happens. The headmaster, Sebastian.
Mr. Sebastian.
Yes, Mr. Sebastian, or not Chris Hansen, as I like to call him. I'm dead serious. Every time he came on the screen, he was just peering through a corner. And I'm just waiting for him to come out and say, "Why don't you take a seat? Take a seat right over there. Just take a seat."
See the students over there. See national TV right now.
Oh God, it's Chris Hansen! Yeah, I was let down that didn't happen, but there was one scene where he goes up to Fievel and asks, no, not asks, but says, "We have to have a talk."
No, let's have a chat.
Oh, let's have a chat, yes. That was the closest I got to, "Why don't you take a seat?"
Close enough.
Yeah. So nothing happens. Someone finally dies and explodes like a blue smurf. Nothing happens. And then the final confrontation with the actual witch. And then somebody else blows up like a smurf. And that's it. An hour and a half of a tween Hansel and Gretel movie. I don't even know what you would call it. It's not really even a drama. Can't call it a thriller in any way.
No, you could call it a drama.
Yeah. But there was no drama.
Suspense, maybe?
Where was the suspense?
Yeah, I don't
This
know.
movie had nothing.
I don't know what's called either. Just a whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of brooding angst. We're new. We're
Twilight.
witches. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen. Why don't you take a seat? Eric Roberts. I was surprised. That's who played him. Eric Roberts. And it was a mixture of Chris Hansen and Gary Busey. Whenever he talked and moved, it was Gary Busey. But whenever he peered around a corner, it was definitely Chris Hansen.
I don't know. I'm still thinking Barry Weiss from Storage Wars.
I can see that, but I saw Gary Busey perfectly in him.
I heard it in the voice.
I don't know. I was seeing more Gary Busey in him. I really have no idea what to even say about this film. It sucked. It wasn't even that the film was bad. It was boring.
It was just a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Hey, look, exterior shot. Hey, look, someone walking. Oh, look, they stole a soul. Holy crap, Smurf explosion!
Or a random still shot of backdrop of a sunset for no apparent reason.
That looked like it came from a motivational poster. In fact, I think I have seen that exact motivational poster.
You might be right.
No moving clouds. It's just, okay, here's the sun, here's the clouds. I'm waiting for it to zoom out and see the friggin' black outline. Okay.
Might be right.
Hope. Okay, yeah, I think I've seen this poster before.
Faith.
Yeah, Faith, probably. That there were some audio issues. The only major one I really noticed was God, I forget her name. The the one that was talking to Fievel at one point about telling her the secret society and crap, the secret circle.
The guidance counselor.
Yeah, the guidance counselor. That's
Crap,
right. I forget her name. But
the one that turned out to be.
no spoilers. Please do not give any spoilers. I do not want anything spoiled in this film. I want these people to actually go and sit through this friggin' tweenage piece of crap. Ash, go away. Yeah. Well, either way, the guidance counselor. Crap, I forget what I was even saying about that person now. Go away, cat.
Something about the audio.
Oh yeah, the audio. The worst was at one point all the teens were talking. They were picking on Boo Boo, and she just out of nowhere appears in an opening, and her entire audio is muffled like this. Just for no friggin' reason. It just clearly was a problem with the microphone. And that's the only scene where it happened. Nobody bothered to go back and fix it. And you can tell this is just like a typical mockbuster, we screwed up, we don't care kind of thing.
And the music never stopped.
Oh my god!
The music was loud.
Music was annoying. When it stopped, it was like a relief. Half the time the music was playing for no friggin' reason whatsoever. And at the very end of the film, as soon as one little action exists at the end, Brady Bunch stare music happens. That fluttery thing all of a sudden just happens out of nowhere. I'm sitting here just waiting. Where are the Brady Bunch kids? Where are the Bradys? I know they're coming. Somebody's going to be coming. They didn't even show any of the kids from the school. Nobody in the film is named Hansel or Gretel. And this is Hansel and Gretel.
At the end, they showed Jonah holding a knife, the engraving of the parents' names. All you can make out was the mother's name, Greta, so I assumed the father's name was Hansel or something along the lines of Hansel.
Yeah.
I couldn't make out the name. They zoomed in and out so fast with the knife. Couldn't make it out.
Hey, plot point! Oh, screw you!
Yeah, exactly.
Go away. Plot point
Exactly.
don't matter. Man, the oversaturation and the use of the Twilight blue filter. I wanted to strike somebody. You could tell this was a tween cash-in because of that. And
oh yeah, they used the exact same blue filter that they used on the Twilight movie.
I don't even know if it was a blue filter. It looked like really high wattage lights with a blue tint over them.
Yeah, the same thing they used in the first Twilight movie.
Well, the Twilight movies, from what I saw, I think was a literal blue filter applied in editing. This just looked like, okay, we got lights, let's add blue.
Close enough.
The tweens love the blue, so
Close enough. Yeah.
either way, it was obnoxious. They used it during most of the day for night shots, which were ridiculous. The one scene, one of the roomies was going through their entire house because they heard something, and it went from, okay, it's moderately light out, to a minute and a half later, it's pitch black midnight. Yeah. The day for night shots were ridiculously bad. And honestly, every scene that was a day for night shot was either set in a somewhat enclosed area where it was all white, or in a house that was all white. So when they used the light with the blue filter, it was obnoxious. I couldn't stand it for a second.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. He's like, okay, here's black. We're going to blind you with a blue-white light. Hope you enjoy it. Oh my god. What else? I took some notes, but I don't even remember what my notes were. Nor do I even care. Yeah, I have to say this, for a tween movie, I mean, it's really not a bad movie. It's boring. Nothing goes on. There's no action. There's no plot development. They screw up half the friggin' plots. Like at the end of the movie, they find their birth certificates, and Boo Boo looks to Fievel and say, "Oh, look, it's our real names." And then Fievel says, "Just take some." And Boo Boo goes, "What are you doing?" And Fievel, "I'm writing aren't real names." That in the beginning of the film, I swear to God, I heard the mother call Ella Hannah.
I honestly wasn't paying attention to the
You didn't
beginning
care.
of the film.
You didn't care. You cared as little. You cared less than I did. Honestly, the film looked kind of interesting. I wish I knew this was a tween film. I really did. I really do, because this was just horrible to sit through. Chris Hansen, he saved the film. He constantly just appeared. He was worth it.
Yeah. I'll agree there.
Oh my God! There's something else I really wanted to touch base on. I don't even remember what the hell it was. Do you have any other thoughts? Racist.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was.
The fighting scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Boo Boo and Fievel, they're Oriental, and throughout the entire film, there's no hint whatsoever that they had any sort of martial arts training. So once Sebastian, once he starts training Fievel, all of a sudden she's like just deflecting everything. Everything is getting thrown at her, just deflecting.
Oh, apparently it's in their bloodline that they're meant to be witch hunters.
But their bloodline just had to be Oriental.
That's true.
That to me just seemed like, okay, you know what, we're going to pick these two because natural martial artists. Because there is a martial arts scene that happens towards the end. The two, the brother and sister, Fievel and Boo Boo, they go at each other. Because Fievel catches Boo Boo and the other witches trying to steal somebody's soul. Yeah. They actually get into a martial arts fight, and it's well choreographed. It's not the most impressive, but they actually do a good job, I thought, for this kind of film, what kind of budget they have.
Yeah.
But it's just out of nowhere. I mean, when Fievel is being taught by Eric Roberts, he throws a freaking dagger at her. Right at her face, and she just catches it like that.
Yeah.
It's like, how in the hell, if you've never fought before, are you able to catch that, regardless of if it's in your DNA or bloodline or whatever? It's just, okay, I think the film is just reaching at that point for racism. For the stereotype.
He's throwing baseballs at her and she's just catching them.
Yeah. It was hysterical to watch, but it was just, I'm sitting here going, racist. Damn racist movie. Quit being a racist movie. You would imagine if that they're witches, they're going to learn how to use witchcraft, which actually does kind of happen towards the end.
They shoot perfectly round fireballs.
And every damn time I'm sitting there going, Hadouken! Because that's what it looked like. It looked like Ryu, I don't even know how you say his name at this point. It looks like him just going, Hadouken! Every damn time. But they're perfectly symmetrical. It's a literal 360 orb with weird fireball lines going through it. It was like the darkest hour, like those alien things.
Oh yeah.
It looked exactly like those on the inside, but it didn't have a face or anything. It was just going around like a weird thing. I could not help myself but laugh hysterically during that scene, and they only fought for a little while.
Yeah, a grand total of 2 minutes.
Really, I kind of like 3, 4, 2. I think maybe 3 or 4 fireballs were shot total, and then there was more exposition between Boo Boo and the other guy, the jock. It's like, oh, we can use our powers for good. Screw you. Foreshadowing in this film is horrible. You will know who the witch is as soon as the film starts. You're gonna know it. You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna know who the other witches are. Matter of fact, they show right in the very beginning who the 3 other witches are. Not the Great Witch, but you can just figure that out. And because I watch so much WWE, every time the Great Witch said that she's hungry or she wants more, all I'm picturing is Ryback going, "Feed me more." Because she has a deep voice, and it's just, "Feed me more." That's all I'm hearing in my head. That's all she wants. She keeps talking about eating the kids, and I don't know. You know, this whole movie just didn't even seem like a Hansel and Gretel script to begin with. Did it?
No, not at all.
It just felt like a tween film that was just slightly altered.
Definitely agree there.
So much of it was forced. I loved the box. The box with the parchment paper in it.
Oh, yeah. And the gingerbread house looked like it was torn out of a kid's coloring book.
There was parchment paper, perfect edges. What did you say? Smoke? Or blue smoke on it? Or tea bags or something here and there? Like what tea bags?
No, it was supposed to be aged paper, but it just looked like nicotine stained paper.
Yeah. And all the text printed from a printer. Not even handwritten. And like she said, the picture of the gingerbread house from a coloring book.
It's just with the text on the top and bottom cut off.
And you would imagine they would be rolled. No, they were like kind of folded.
No, they were rolled up, just very half-assed rolled up.
Yeah, because when they took them apart, it's like bent.
Yeah.
It didn't even fold back up. It was... The box itself looked more impressive than the apparent important documents. And then there was some book. I have no idea what the book was about. All I know is it had 3 circles on it. I'm looking at it like, oh my god. Are they trying to do 3 6s? Because I'm looking at it like, okay, this looks like the one Deicide cover. Deicide album cover.
It did look like it had a lot of these 6s.
With the edge cut off, just circles.
Yeah.
What else do I want to mention? Ah, the reporter. Oh my god. As soon as Fievel goes into her new house with her roomie, whatever this girl's name is, she comes right up in front of her with a camera and just starts talking. Mile a minute, typical preppy teenage blonde. I wanted to smack this girl. I wanted her to die the second she opened her mouth. I'm sitting here going, nah, I hate this woman. I hate this bitch right now. I hate her. Die. Every time she opened her mouth, I'm just picturing, die. Please, somebody, kill her.
She did.
Thank God.
She get killed off.
Thank God.
Yeah, she was annoying.
We didn't get to see it, though.
No, she just kind of disappeared, which while you went away in the bathroom, she got killed off.
Yeah.
The blonde witch killed her off.
Yeah. So I didn't even get the satisfaction of rewinding when I came back and watching her die. Damn.
They didn't show it.
That angers me. When one of the most annoying characters doesn't die on screen. It was kind of low budget, so I guess I could expect that. Chris Hansen died way too easy, though.
Yeah. All of them, everyone died way too easy.
Yeah.
Bursting into a blue...
Smurf! Smurf explosion! Except Chris Hansen, when he dies, he's like... Ah!
Yeah.
Final run! Ah! The good and bad, the ugly. Boom! Ah! Oh, man. I think that is about it. I really have no idea what else to say. mumbling. The mumbling was a huge issue in this film. Every character at one point, constantly, they would have a line, they would deliver it normally, and then...
I noticed that mainly with the male characters. Female characters, not so much, but the male characters, oh yeah.
Well, most of the female characters were bubbly and bitchy and preppy. God, I hated every female character in this film.
What do you expect? It took place in a rich, preppy, upscale high school.
I know. And that's another issue. Where's the fairy tale folklore? The only thing...
There was none.
Exactly. This is a film set in modern time about a rich family who has a troubled son who gets deported out to a rich school, and the sister follows because she feels that she can't leave him alone. She has to be there to help him. And then all this weird stuff starts happening. People start disappearing, which you never really get to see any of it. It's just the Boo Boo's roomie, Chris. He's like, oh, we gotta get out of here, to Fievel when she comes over. All these people are disappearing. All the dropouts. They come back from the woods. They're different. And then he disappears. And then, like, 2 days later in the time of the film, there he is. Like, oh, well, that guy tried to escape. He got caught. Man, he must suck. He must fail at life. Can't even get out of school. I don't know. Hadouken balls in the air. Wipes the soul. That was the whole point. And then the souls somehow feed the Great Witch. I swear to God, this film is so bad, I actually feel dumber. I don't know about you. I feel dumber. Like I'm starting sentences about this film, and then I just forget what I'm talking about. There's just nothing going on. If I'm talking about a point, it's like, oh yeah, what the hell is the point?
Yeah, that's about how I feel.
The rich family, that's right. The guidance counselor, when she's talking to Fievel, she's explaining the whole history of the school, that it has some, the school itself was built by witches. There's a secret cult or something called the Secret Circle.
Yeah.
And,
it's like circle of witches.
Yeah. And apparently her parents had something to do with it. The witches built the school and whatnot. She denied that it actually has anything to that anything like that is going on now, that it never existed or something like that. She mentions the brothers Grimm, who are responsible for the Hansel and Gretel story, and I forget what other one, Rumpelstiltskin, she mentioned.
Yeah.
And they're talking about, well, what if these stories were actually a guide? What if these are stories to warn people? Really? That angle hasn't been played enough. That's where it all got tied in. Outside of a really forced introductory dialogue, which I couldn't stand one bit. It was Fievel talking about the candy house and the witch that lured kids there to eat them. It felt so out of place, and the more you watch the movie, you realize it is out of place. It really has nothing to do with the film. All the Hansel and Gretel stuff is forced.
Well, apparently the school's name stands for Gingerbread House,
Yeah.
and I won't go any further.
You know what? If you made it this far, well, we'll ruin the ending. Spoilers.
The guidance counselor ends up being the Woods Witch, and she lures kids into the school, which means, like I said, Gingerbread House, and then lures the kids into the Secret Circle. So really, the beginning makes sense. Ties into the movie.
Yeah. Let's just call it what it is. It's the Secret Garden. basically the secret garden. There's like a partition in a way, columns, some flowers. It's not the secret circle. It's the secret garden. They discovered the secret garden.
All right, we'll go with that.
Let's just face it. That's exactly what it is. Oh my God! It's the secret garden. Witches. Witches have found the secret garden. They must feed her more.
Feed me more.
Yeah.
Feed me more.
Oh. Why don't you take a seat?
Yeah. You're on national TV right
And
now.
yeah, since we're going into spoiler territory, her death is the most pointless thing ever shot on film. Rambling, your parents, I'm gonna eat you. Oh yeah, Fievel takes out the blade, stabs her, Smurf explosion. That's it. That's it. They go back, they're talking. Chris Hansen left them a note that had their birth certificates. They signed their real names, even though they apparently had their real names on them.
They never say the real names anyways.
Yeah. So apparently Ella and Jonah are not the real names. And then they just look at each other, let's go slay some witches. And that's it. All during the Brady Bunch fluttery stare music. I
expect them to just go skipping, holding hands down the walkway.
Yes. Yes.
Music playing.
That's what I expected too, but nope, they just walked off. How were they even holding hands?
No, they're just walking really close together.
It looked like they were holding hands.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Skipping.
They're just walking a school bus. Oh my God. Okay, I guess the point of all this is, don't bother. This actually would be a good film for the young teenage demographic. Like, if you have a daughter that was into the Twilight films, you might like this. She might enjoy this. Because there's nothing going on in the film whatsoever. At least Twilight had some action, from what I understand. I've never seen the film. I don't care to. But the whole action here, stab, Smurf explosion. That's it. Fireball. Oh yeah, Hadouken. Ash. Go, leave the laptop alone. Go away, kitty. Now you made me forget what I was gonna say. This cat. But yeah, they got the familiar Twilight blue tint. That. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this film, obviously. I don't think you are. It's not worth it. I know it's a newer film. It's actually available now on Netflix streaming. It didn't take long to get on there, clearly. I mean, if you want to watch it, go ahead. Like I said, this is more for the tween demographic. If you have a daughter that was into the Twilight films or anything Stephanie Miller.
Lot of nothing.
Yes. Stephanie Miller comes to mind. Meyer. Whatever. She sucks.
Yeah.
I fear what the host will do to our children when that comes out. Yeah. If your daughter's into that, into her books, rent it. Not rent. Throw it on Netflix. There really isn't anything bad. There's no nudity. There's no swearing. There's no nothing. This is a tween. It simply is.
And shit once.
Yeah. And honestly, I do not understand how this is even a Hansel and Gretel related film outside of this, the vague similarities and references, because this really had nothing to do with Hansel and Gretel. And as a mockbuster, people are going to be confused. I wanted to watch this film because I thought it was going to be a mockbuster of Hansel and Gretel. Abraham Lincoln versus Zombies had more action in it, and the action of that film wasn't that great either. I like that film a lot more. But yeah, it's had nothing going on. It had nothing going on, but yeah, we've rambled for like 30 minutes of this. Oh my god. Alright, well, hopefully the video saves. That's all for now. We'll do this again next time we catch another film. Take care.